Data. Can we imagine a life without data? Over the last decade, data has gained an increasing importance in our daily life and in the industry. Having the data available always and on any possible device has become an evidence. A must to let people, machines, as well as processes work under the most efficient circumstances. And yes, at Picanol, driven by data is even one of our main 4 principles, next to smart performance, intuitive control and sustainability insight. With the recent launch of our digital platform Piconnect, we have yet again set the benchmark in the weaving industry. A clear proof that for Picanol, driven by data is not just a slogan, but a commitment. Piconnect was, however, just the beginning. Now we also have our machines that can provide the right data and are loaded with the functionalities that allow you to amplify your own intuition. Curious to find out? We will explain you how we got this embedded in our new Connect machine generation.
To guarantee optimum performance and also optimum lifetime of the rapier, lubrication by the sticks of the rapier tape is key. To ensure that the stick is always present and also to inform you when these sticks are about to be replaced, we implemented a smart detection and alerting system. Also, a follow-up of the temperature of these cooling blocks is a perfect parameter to inform you when a checkup of the parts is needed. This gives you the possibility to run with the highest speeds while keeping also the highest level of reliability of the insertion elements. On rapier machines of this new Connect generation, it is also possible to have a sensor that is measuring the stroke of the gripper. These data will allow you to maximize the practical production speed. In case the drawing in width is less, the speed can be increased. All this will allow you to make the machine as intuitive as possible. With user-assisted procedures from the display, a width change will become extremely easy. You can do it in the shortest possible time, and it will assure you that you're following the correct procedures. You must admit that energy consumption is becoming more and more important in your daily business operation. You want to tune the machine in the most energy efficient way without compromising on productivity or on the quality of the fabric. While Picanol machines have always been known as the most energy efficient machines. With the introduction of Optimax I in the Connect version, we are very glad and pleased to introduce to you a new feature to visualize this energy consumption. It is called power monitoring. With power monitoring, you can view and follow up on the electrical power consumption of the machine on the Blue Touch display.
The power monitoring is of course also available on the OmniPlus I Connect. To be sure you have sustainability fully inside, we now offer you Smart Savings package. Beside the power monitoring, this package also includes features like the AirMaster and ARVD2+. They allow you to reduce and optimize the energy consumption of your weaving machines. A must-have for all customers who want to manage their energy consumption. Our Sumo Direct Drive is still considered to be the best available on the market. But it is not because it is the best that one should not try to make it even better. Our engineers have completely reviewed the construction of the motor and made improvements on 2 main topics. First of all, an upgrade was made on the type of materials that is used on both the rotor and the stator, aiming at an increased efficiency of the motor. This results on average to about 100 watts of energy savings. Second, the all circulation cooling the motor has been optimized. To keep it simple, running at the same loads, the motor temperature will now be lower than on the previous version. This guarantees an even longer lifetime of the motor. And last but not least, in order to ensure the condition of the motor at any time, a temperature sensor was added to the Sumo main motor. This was the last piece of the puzzle to get a complete picture on the temperature of the machine. So, the most efficient motor has even become more efficient. Temperature and humidity. 2 parameters well known to you as a weaver. Can you imagine the possibilities you would have to optimize if you would know these 2 parameters? Well, with the Connect generation, This is no longer a dream, but reality. From now on, an integrated temperature and humidity sensor is a standard feature on every Connect machine. This sensor, integrated in the signal lamp torch, is continuously measuring and sending these data to the machine's microprocessor. This information is visualized on the Bluetooth display. So with Connect machines, you can verify whether you have the right parameters everywhere in the weaving department, which allows you to optimize the climatization settings.
Correct, Johan. But let me first remind you to the fact that our electronic platform, which indeed we call Blue Box, has already been introduced in 2011. And in the meantime, it really has set the standard in the industry. We call it the brains of our machine. And indeed, this platform has been upgraded on several points. The first one, and maybe most important one, as we already mentioned, we have increased significantly the number of sensors on the machine. Well, the challenge is now to gather all this data and to bring them in the best possible way to the microprocessor. This can be done through direct connections, or it can be integrated in the existing protocols, like for example CAN bus. But I would say mission accomplished. A second example, through a redesigned heat management, we were also able to reduce the average temperature within the control box, resulting in a longer lifetime of the electronic components. Next, we have also been thinking on the practical side. So if you want to move the control box, this can now be done easily by these handles, which are nicely integrated in the design. Also, the push buttons, as well as the main switch, have been upgraded to the latest technology. For example, the push buttons have been switched to the highly reliable membrane technology. And last, we also see an increased safety awareness in our industry. That's why we decided also to bring the emergency push button to the best reachable position, being on top of the main panel. It is obvious that the Bluetooth display has now become standard on all Connect machines. Together with the Bluetooth display, we are now having new functionalities. So every machine will have its own customized manual in the display. No more need to go and search for a paper version of your manual. In front of the machine, whenever you have a question, you can look it up on the spot. We already told you that the new Connect machines are fully loaded with sensors. In order to make sure that all this data is captured by the sensors and also available and accessible for the user, a sensor overview page is now also available in the display. All this information is grouped in a very nice view, including graph functionality for further in-depth analysis. In order to make your life even more easy, we have another smart functionality. On the setting pages, we added a context-based assistant. So whenever a weaver or a technician is tuning his machine and he is having a question about a certain setting, he can easily touch the question mark and he will be automatically directed to an information page about this particular subject.
To easily keep track of actions performed on the machine or get an overview of the future to-do list, you can use the logbook functionality in the display. In the logbook, you can, for example, leave and follow up messages for your colleagues of the next shift, but you can also get a summary of activities to be performed on the machine in the near future. Some examples: intermediate tests of functionalities, greasing reminders, or lubrication reminders. You can even register when and which parts have been replaced. The logbook is the ultimate tool to find out what happened on the machines in the past, but also to look what actions will be required in the future. Talking about actions on the machine, we want to be sure about who is doing what on the machines. And also here we have good news for you. We can now offer a real access control system.
With access control, we further increase intuitivity by allowing personalized access to the machine. When you log in, you can do this with an ID with pins or with a key tag, working with NFC technology. Once you're logged in, you will be guided automatically to a personalized dashboard that will be showing the most frequently used sections of the display. Next to a personalized dashboard, you can also use predefined favorites. They will give you access from the main page to the settings which you are most oftenly using. But the most important functionality of access control is that you can define individual roles, and for every individual role you can define which settings can be changed and which one not.
A Picanol machine should be as easy to use as a smartphone. This is not just a slogan. With the Bluetooth display, the user already has the most user-friendly interface one could imagine. And there is more. Bluetooth also has browser functionality. To keep it simple, if the machine is connected to the internet, the user can consult web pages through the display, like the famous Picanol tutorials, for example. Of course, the mill management can decide which pages can and especially cannot be consulted.
A few words about the smart signal lamp and the push buttons. You might think, why do we emphasize this topic again? Because this has already been introduced in ITMA in 2019. Well, for us it is extremely important that anyone, and especially a weaver, can see the status of the machine instantly. Also, if you're giving a command through the push buttons, you want to be sure that it is well received by the machine. All of this was accomplished already with the smart signal lamp and with the push buttons. But now we want to take this functionality to a higher level. And from now onwards, you can see also the status of the machine by this integrated LED light in the push button. Let me explain to you with a simple example. Assume that you have a warp breakage. Well, it is very clear that this is indicated by the signal lamp, which is positioned on top of the control box. Even you can see on the signal lamp the duration of the stop if this functionality is switched on. But as I said, we want to bring it now to a higher level. So you can also see now the status of the machine by this LED strip, which is showing exactly the same color as on the control box. This is a very simple, but it's a great and unique feature. With the launch of the Smart Shed, the independent shedding motion on OmniPlus I, we also introduced the visualization of the stroke of every harness frame separately in the display. Our Smart Shed customers really love this digitization. Whenever you want, you can check the stroke of every harness frame on the Bluetooth display. If you prefer to work with the shed angle, no problem. Also the shed angle value of every harness frame is also visible on the display. But the good news now is that it is not anymore limited to Smart Shed, but it's also possible on Cambox and on Dobby, and also on Airjet as well as on Rapier. But there is more. The harness frame movement, together with the reed and the insertion elements, are now all visualized in the Bluetooth display. With this tool, the user can instantly see the impact of a setting change and adapt on the spot to reach optimal machine performance within the shortest possible time.
With all that has been demonstrated in this session, it's very clear that our machines of the Connect generation are even more digital than before. Data gathering is key in order to further optimize the performance of our machines. Be it making the performance smarter, making the control more intuitive, or making our machines more sustainable. And for sure, more driven by data than ever before. Of course, the data related to the machine's performance and operation can be found in the machine display. Our new digital platform, PiConnect, goes even a huge step further and uses the data to bring your weaving mill to the next level. All the Connect machines can be easily PiConnect enabled, opening the way to the era of intuitive weaving. All information on PiConnect was explained in our previous webinar and can be found on our website in the Picanol app. And of course, our sales team will be very happy to tell you all about it.